How can a digital-first SME succeed in a purely digital environment?
Well, firstly, we've talked about how SMEs are all different in their different ways, and that becomes more and more acute the larger the SMEs become. I think one of the problems that SMEs struggle with their bank and banks struggle with the SMEs is actually because the traditional banking model is to be all things to all people. So not just serve SMEs, indeed serve all the way from the smallest consumer to the largest corporate and government. Well, actually, when you get to the medium-sized business segments, every single business is different, and of course you have different sectors which have very different behaviours, very different cash flow profiles. It's impossibly hard for a single bank to be the perfect bank for all of those different types of customers. And one example you're alluding to there is that many businesses are cash heavy or check heavy, and many businesses are purely digital in their financial services needs. Well, my view on that, and kind of at the heart of what we're trying to do, at Allica, we don't think we can be the perfect bank for every business. We're very clear about the segment we serve in terms of sort of turnover range or sizes. And indeed, there are businesses, for example, that are very cash heavy that right now we're probably not the right bank for. So I think what we're going to see over the coming years is more and more specialisation. As the traditional universal banks pull back from the segments, you'll see more focused challenges. For example, in the UK, there's a focused bank just on the agriculture sector, which is very specialised and very different in its own way. At Allica, we are actually quite neutral in sectors. We serve a whole range of sectors, but we're very, very clear about the type of customer that Allica is right for. And I think that's what we need to see more of. We need to see more players that are focused on particular needs.
I think that's the way to do it, is to focus on the needs of the customer as opposed to you're in agriculture, you're in medcare. I focus on their individual needs and wants.
Absolutely, because in the end, those needs and wants are very complex and very different. But you begin to see some pattern recognition. So, for example, business to consumer businesses are quite distinct from business to business businesses. For example, one, when it makes revenue, its revenue is instantly made into cash. Whereas a business to business, which I'm sure you know personally, you may book some revenue or book a sale, but it may be weeks and indeed months until you actually receive the cash. So things like that make an enormous difference to the banking profile and the banking needs of a customer.